on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Nassim the Dream. It is that time of the week once again. It is time for Singles of the Week. This is a segment where I like to break down some of the newest tracks that have just dropped this past weekend. I'm going to give you my thoughts and I'm going to give them an official rating. So be sure to check them out for yourselves. They're all linked in the description down below. Let's get right into these new singles. Alright, we're going to begin off with this little taste. Started off as a single at first, but then all of a sudden just dropped a full record from Miss Sexxy Red, TTG Go. Yet another red hot banger from Big Sexy right here. Always has that switch that just goes on go mode, bro. Like when, I mean, speaking of the title, especially, not even to really be on the nose with it, but yeah, ironically, that's how it really goes. When a beat just comes her way, immediately turns the dial up all the way and makes these songs hers. Really stands out super well on here. The bass is absolutely booming on here. The drums, they're drumming, and that on top of that, that coochie is popping, so it's fine. Next, we got ZAYN also releasing a full LP. I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the single on there, Stardust. You know, I'll hand it to ZAYN. He brings an endearing performance to the track. It's a simple acoustic piece with some other guitar pieces that are blending into the mix, but they are muddy at times, and I think that really messes up the cohesion with the entire track. I think fans will dig it. For the most part, they're not really going to nitpick that much compared to an outsider or someone who's familiar with production. But I wouldn't expect too much from this, but overall, it's decent. Next, Clairo is back, ladies and gentlemen, with the single Sexy to Someone. And I thought this was an excellent comeback track. Been so long since we actually recently really heard what she was really doing. And ironically enough, I was kind of just thinking about where she's been, just going back to some of her past LPs and some of her big hits, and I was just wondering where she was, and boom, here she is back. And with this instrumental, I think that is the biggest standout factor that really makes this song blossom. The immediate crescendos that also don't overstay its visit are really something that really stands out into the mix. They just really just chop and just add a striking effect into the rhythms on here. There is an excellent guitar playing segment on here, and Clairo is still delivering that luscious, soft touch off to the vocal work. I'm really digging this. I really cannot wait for the next project that is coming out. I'm gonna look up the date soon. And for the rating, it's gonna get the green. Next up, Vince Staples also dropping a new project, and I'm gonna be telling you about the track Shame on the Devil. Vince is always hit or miss. There's something about him. I think he's a great hip-hop artist, but there's just something with him that just doesn't always connect with me. So I would say for this one, this is another one yet I did not enjoy. Vince Staples is just he's going with that more slow-mo psych effect again, and that's influence that I really do enjoy to hear hip-hop artists try to kind of mess with. But it just gets really disassociated after hearing the drowsiness from Vince. It's a little bit too sleepy, and it doesn't evolve into anything interesting at the same time. Yeah, this felt very short for me. Maggie Lindemann also dropping a deluxe, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on If It's Not With You. It's a big It's a big but a little bit below So, like, definitely directed towards a special someone. It's very sweet, very cute. It's just too safe though, and to be honest, it's flavorless. I'm getting a little bit upset and just losing a little bit hope for Maggie, because I just want her to peek through this barrier that she has in her vocal skills, and she's just too stuck into this monotone effect, and I really do think it is causing a huge decline for her song quality, and I'm really starting to lose faith. I'm really hoping that turns around one day. I like what she's doing with the heavy metal emo aesthetic. I think it really does fit her, and especially with her pop tones, but yeah, this is just not working for me. And then next we got R&B super group Flow with the track Caught Up. Super dope, elegant, authentic R&B from this group. I think at this point this should be considered a super group because they are brilliant. This song is absolutely fire. The chemistry continues to pay off. Rhythmically, it is infectious. I mean, you're gonna move. You're gonna move that ass, sweetie. Promise you that. Incredible vocal highlights on here. Super groovy, sexy feel to it. It is just so loyal to the R&B genre, and also it just does new things that really makes flow stand out, and also pays homage to a lot of like the 2000s and early 2010s of R&B. So it's yet again another fire track as well. Next up, how about some Suicide Boys with the newest track, The Thin Gray. You know, I like the punch to it. The treble on the synths are something that I feel like is something that just bothers me a little too much. Even when messing around with the volume on the song itself, no matter what reference speaker or headphones you're listening to, it sounds super loud when you especially turn it down. So that's how I know it's not mixed well. So it really does take a lot of weight from the rest of the mix. I feel like if it was tucked in a little bit more, or just turned down, like at least like, I don't even know, like 4 decibels at least. Yeah, but I don't know. For standard Suicide Boys, it's okay. And we got NewJeans out with an EP. And I'm gonna be giving my thoughts on the track How Sweet, making a lot of English tracks more. I think a lot of fans are gonna be a little bit upset with that. I think it's mainly because they're getting a lot more traction, so it kind of makes more sense. I just hope it's something that they want to do and not something that the label is forcing them to do. I can see it being the label forcing them to do that, but also, I mean, a lot of them already know English, so maybe not. And there's still some Korean spoken here, so it's okay. But besides that, the song has a sweetness that you'll really like out of like the K-pop genre. They still have that element here, and there's a very catchy chorus in here as well. Not a huge stand-up performance though. This is a group that I really have very high expectations for, just because of their skills individually as singers, and I don't think they really put it all out on this one, but it's okay. Wallows has a new record out, but I'm gonna be giving you thoughts again on a single. There's a lot of records out right now, but I'm gonna be talking about the track You Show Me Where My Days Went. So melodically, I am loving this. Like, it really has a factor that just becomes very memorable, and I think it's very smooth, well made into the indie rock genre. It has a nice softness to it, real raw aesthetic to the sound, and you have to credit Wallows because their consistency is something that should be applauded. And the production sounds very good. No complaints from me, this is good. Then we got experimental pop group Black Dresses with the track Bad Veggies. Dear God, the sound design is just continuously getting crazier and crazier from this group. I really don't know how experimental groups continue just to figure out how to make the most wackiest, absurd, obnoxious noise elements and yet have them not clip, because it's insane. Like, they get really hardcore with their hyperpop on here too. Black Dresses is just such a wicked group. The growling power into the bass is so amazing. Vocally, it's not their best, but I feel like they have some more interesting works into the sound design that makes you just continue to gain more interest to want to play more and more new tunes from them. Still pretty good. We got a lot of good house tracks. I'm gonna be starting off with this one from KAYTRANDA and Rochelle Jordan. I feel like I didn't need to say it like that, but let's be extra for a little bit. This track is called Lover Friend. Solid work from KAYTRANDA, especially after that last one. I wasn't really too impressed. This one is really good. I love the blends and the atmospheres on this. I feel like they really add some kind of element to it that I can't necessarily put my finger on it directly and describe it to you, but it mixes up so well where it feels like ethereal, but at the same time it stays true to R&B when it comes to just some like light like synthesizers and just pad elements on here. But it really does stand out. So does Rochelle. She is brilliant on this song. This is really hot song. This is gonna be a really hot track for the entire summer. It's gonna be in my playlist for a while. So just to tell you, this is straight ear candy and I love it. Next up, Nothing Nowhere with the track John Wayne, I Wanna Be a Cowboy. This is decent. This is pretty decent. This is way more of a straight up pop punk groove for Nothing Nowhere. He mixes up a lot. He kind of has like this emo hip hop root to him. You don't really see that too much on here. A little bit of the emo mostly, but not really much of the hip hop. I like that he's getting a little bit more creative, just standing out into a different realm more so. I mean, he's kind of familiar with the pop punk genre at the same time, so you can't really necessarily say it's too creative or too brand new. But I think the singing is well performed. I think a lot of the community will really enjoy this. Sure, it's not the most dynamic track you're gonna hear out of this entire list, but I think it's good. And then we got Rauw Alejandro with Touching the Sky. He's going just straight up dance pop on here, but wow, it is bland. It is like dead inside. I think it's so cool that he's messing around with some disco, but it's just no flavor. It's super vanilla. I don't even say it's vanilla. It's like plastic. Like the moment it plays, I went like, nah, bro, this is straight rubbish. Super overplayed sound. Simply just not good. Surf, Mesa, and NKY with the track Obsession is something that I feel like is a big demand to play on this list because it has amazing deep rave techno influences that Surf Mesa hasn't really played with this dedicatedly, and I think it's so cool to see. I love the exploration. I think it's so exciting to see him try new styles, and at the same time, they're sounding so good, so authentic, and just so like perfectly timed and just like taken care of. He uses really time well to make sure that this is planned out well, is peaked well, envelopes are doing well, just pretty much any like tip-top shape into like the shaping into the production studio, into his digital audio workplace. So I would have really loved to hear this at EDC. I wish he had a set, because wow, this is so good. It's so perfect for that setting. The progression is perfect, and it has like the ethereal effect too that I just feel like is just so good with house music. So my favorite sound mixed with it musically is so satisfying too. So great. It's flame. Back-to-back bangers for you, and this is from Wes Millie's You and I. Incredibly vivid product right here. I mean, this thing is popping off the canvas. Full gloss finish, crispy kicks, and yet another infectious progression on here. I mean, when you check this out, you just feel the color scheme just continue to mix and change colors, and this color mixes with this color and this thing. It's just like so vibrant, and just it's so fun to really just put on, especially with some bass enhancing headphones. Don't even get me started. It's unnecessary too. I played this with just straight up just leveled with highs and lows, but if you just play something, as if you play this track specifically with the lows boosted, it's gonna sound incredible. It's such a banger. Boston Manor is out with the track Keep Me Up, definitely sounding like they took inspiration from Linkin Park's Numb. It sounds super similar to it, like a lot of parallels are in it, in my observation at least. Didn't exactly push it to the limit, but by no means is a poor product from them. It's overall just average based off what I've been listening to, and some of their newest singles doesn't stand up to them, but it's okay. Young Lean with Shadowboxing. So we got like an enthralling image right here. I really did like, and it creates this image that is just super out of this world in particular, and is super compelling. But the entirety feels so vague. It just feels like a snippet almost that you hear on Instagram, or like a trailer for a music video or something. I would have liked a lot more from this, but unfortunately it fell short. BABYMETAL is teaming up with the group Electric Callboy with the track RATATA. The chorus rules. The breakdown is super neat. I don't really know who these Electric Callboy dudes are. I am not into him. I'm not into him at all. It really reminds me of like Motionless in White, but also like Skillet. Probably a little bit more like Skillet. And I think it sounds tacky. I does not go well with this mix. It's very annoying, and because of the amount they take up on the track, I have to give this a red. I did not like it. Ginger Root is out with a new song called No Problems. This is some top-notch stuff. This is something that I feel like you'll really enjoy if you're into that alt indie psych stuff, especially if you're familiar with a successful EP, Nisemono. Certainly something that you'll enjoy if you like that EP. Very fun moments with the guitar struts, just an adventure filled with like a bunch of different ideas and just like hidden elements, hidden sound effects that are just really boosting and enhancing the entire trip of this. And yeah, it just felt very unique. I loved it. And to end off this week's singles of the week, the track that I chose to react to for this week's reaction video, and at the same time I'm going to be gifting the single of the week, is going to Zach Bryan's Pink Skies. You have to go check out the video to see my full breakdowns and reasons why I really like this track. I'm going to say the only thing I'm going to say right here, the reason why it's the single of the week, because it just would be cruel. It would be cruel not to give it singles of the week. So yeah, that's why this is the single of the week. That is it for this week's singles of the week, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go on a like, share, comment down below of what you thought of these tracks. Do not forget to check them out for yourselves. They're all linked in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Deuces.